Hey everybody, it's Larry from Flying L Comics. Hey, we're going to start another new project. I know you guys probably laugh because I start so many projects. I run about 3 projects running concurrently in various stages, and I come back to them and you'll get the filler videos. But I wanted to take a look at this one. This is another book that I got from A1 Comics. It's actually part of a collection called the Winter's Collection. It was 35,000 comic books in this one particular collection, and most of them are pedigree quality copies. So this is wonderful. It's a very wonderful copy here. So let's take a look at the notes. Adventure Comics. It's number 88. It's complete. It's got all its interior pages, cream inside the covers, and some fresh white. It's got a 1-inch split at the spine at the top. So let's take a look at this. I really haven't looked at this one, so this is, you're kind of seeing this with me for the first time. It's a thick book. It's got lots of pages in it. So nice golden age. Let's take a look here at this, see if we can see the spine split. Yeah, it's got a bit of a, it's about a 1-inch tear, maybe a little bit less. So that's okay. We can leave that or we can fix it. Now, if we leave it, then we are assured pretty much a blue label on it. I think this can be cleaned up. It's got a ding down here. Let's take a look at the interior. Oh yeah, so it's detached. See, this is one of those World War II books where they're conserving metal, so they put together with one staple. And I'm looking right here, and the staple is completely missing. So that's interesting. All right. So this says it is from October, November of 1943. So I don't have to worry about taking the staple out. I do have to source a new staple for it, though, which I do have. I keep a light stock of Golden Age staples. In particular, I think I have 2 or 3 from the 1940s era. So it's got some tan to it. We have this separation here. I think this would be a great candidate for some conservation. We can do the de-acidification like we normally do. I think this would come out quite nicely. The colors are brilliant. I think the cover, we may just do a dry cleaning and take a look. It's got a crease right here across the DC label, but it doesn't look like it breaks too badly. I don't see any color touch that would bleed through. In case you don't, you're unfamiliar with a lot of this stuff, we look for the color touch. The first sign you see is a bleed through here. So one thing we're going to do right now is, I have no reason to believe that this book has been modified or touched or anything like that. So we're going to take the trusty fluorescent or ultraviolet light, and let me kill the lights in this room so we can take a better look. All right. So a lot of this doesn't, it looks like we got a hole in the cover right here. So that's something that just popped up. I saw the white flare up. I've got a couple little foxing marks up here. I'm not seeing anything that resembles any color touch or damage. There's a little split right here. That's one thing with the ultraviolet, it picks up a lot of stuff. And what we always look for in these covers is anything that's been added to it. But this looks pretty good. I don't see any repairs. that we're done, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to do some repairs up here because we want to conserve this book. Okay, it looks good. All right. So let's set that aside for the moment. Cool cover though. Got the swastika and the Nazi soldier there. He's just fat and snoring away, and really, really great. Okay, let's set that aside for the moment. Let's take a look at these wraps. So first thing we look at, the colors look brilliant. Let's see, are these? Yeah, they're okay. This looks like, yeah, damn it. Hate when this happens, folks, but this page is, this wrap is attached to this wrap, and it looks like somebody glued it together. All right, so these are the little surprises we look for, and let's see. So I see the yellow glue in here. It's almost like a, yeah, I can see the glue in the seam. So we're gonna have to separate these wraps. Yeah, I can see a little bit here. I don't think you guys can see it at home. All right, well, that was a little unpleasant surprise, but nothing we can't deal with it. Whoever did it looks like they did a pretty good job. Let's see, get everything fully bright in here. There we go. Well, that was a little disappointing surprise, but these are the things that happen in what we do, and that's why we check out every single page. The colors on these look just brilliant. You know, it's a nice creamy colors to the pages. Okay, looks like we have another glued one right here. Yep, sure do. Okay, this wrap is also glued. You know what, folks? I'm not so sure. Yeah, there's a seam right here. This is a single sheet. Yeah. You know what? It's been a while since I've done one of these, but yeah, you can see right here there's an edge. So they glued the paper to the previous page right in here on the interior seam. So that is not something we have to separate. It does entail a little extra level of cleaning, or I should say care, when we're cleaning. So, yep, let me look at this. Yep, sure enough, this is a single sheet of paper as well. Interesting. Yeah, it's very rare we come across stuff like this, but it does happen. So, all right. So, that leads me to believe we're probably going to find another one, because it's about every fourth page, or a wrap, I should say. What I was looking for is to see if we can get any semblance of these wraps. Yep, here's another glued page here. It's always fun. This is a little bit of a discovery for me. We'll have to be very careful when we do the de-acidification process. Okay, and we're starting to get to the center wrap. And there we are. And that is again another glued page. So yeah, it looks like these wraps, they put them together. Okay, the center wrap here, we have a tear here, and we have a fairly large tear here. Doesn't ruin the page, but we'll go ahead and do the repair on that. It looks like we may do a little bit of staple reinforcement on this one. since we're going to be in here. You know, like this is the anchor wrap. So we'd flip it over and do it from the back side here just to put a little reinforcement. I got to fix this tear here, so might as well put something right here. And that way when we reinsert a staple, well, in this case I don't have a staple, but when we insert a staple, it will hold the book solidly together. Okay. And the rest of these, I suspect, are pretty much about the same. I think we are in good shape for a new project. All right, so there you have it. Adventure Comics number 88 from 1943. I love these wartime golden age books. So beautiful cover. Okay, we'll get started on this. Okay, our first order of business is the cover wrap. As we open it up and look at the nice creamy colors, we look at the single staple hole and we will source a new staple, but it doesn't need any reinforcement whatsoever. But up here at the top, we have this big split up here, and we'll have to make a decision on whether we're going to repair that or leave it as is. And then down at the bottom, we have a notch. So looking at this, I'm really pleased with the condition of the cover. Now, on the outside, all this edges look great. I can't see any really defects. There's a couple of splits down here at the bottom of the cover and off to the sides, but all in all, it looks good. Our second order of business is placing the cover wrap into the cleaning tray. It's sitting on top of a piece of Hollytex, and we're going to take another piece of Hollytex and lay it across the top. Now this will allow for the calcium hydroxide to be absorbed into the cover wrap, and it will also protect the cover wrap from any accidental handling or tearing. So as we pour the solution in, it's a very mild solution of calcium hydroxide with a surfactant in it to help loosen the dirt. The reason we do this is this will allow for the wrap to be pressed absolutely flat, which is really the only way we want to do dry cleaning. If you have a wrap that has ridges and valleys in it, it will be much more difficult to clean unless it's straightened out. Now, the Triton X100, which is our surfactant, will help loosen any dirt or filth and tannins that are in the paper, as well as the calcium hydroxide doing the de-acidification. Now, the entire process of this happening will also help to loosen anything. So when we press this flat, we'll be able to dry clean it, and any remaining dirt or residue will be loosened, and that'll make it a lot easier to clean. So my personal habit is to always dry clean a flat cover, and I've found that this is probably the best way to do it. If you have a really bad cover that's wrinkled, you know you're going to have to straighten it out anyway. So let's go ahead and get it wet, and this is the process that I use, and it comes out great. Just don't rush it, and do everything smoothly, and you'll see what the results look like. Now, it's been about 5 minutes since we started our cleaning process with the calcium hydroxide. And as you can see, there's a little bit of suds formed. We'll go ahead and pour this batch off, and you can see the tannins and the dirt and the filth that's come off of it. Now, this is just our first cleaning, and this is going to be the only cleaning with any soapy surfactant in it. So as we look at it, we can see how much it's removed, and you can see the foam on top. That is our soap. So we're going to go ahead and start our second calcium hydroxide treatment. This time there will be no surfactant in it. It is just calcium hydroxide, and it is a 25% strength. Now, I'll notate everything in the description to the video so you can see the recipe that I use, and I use Dr. Paul's recipe. He's the one I credit this with. Now, again, it's about 300 milliliters. We're going to agitate this again for about 5 minutes, and then we'll let it sit down and soak for a little bit, and then come back, agitate it once more, and then we'll pour it off. So looking at this, and I'm looking at this split at the top of the cover, let's go ahead and flip this over right now. So what I want to do is give this another good soaking. As you can see, there's still a little bit of surfactant coming off of it. You can see by the bubbles, and we're just going to get this all out. Now, when we first start this, we put in about 300 milliliters, and when we weigh the beaker when it comes out after it's been poured, there's been about 250 milliliters coming off. So that means there's still 50 milliliters trapped in the paper. So that's still got a little bit of soapiness. So that's starting to loosen up, and we're going to go ahead and get that rinsed off, and then we'll do a final cleaning. Again, the same method. We'll go ahead and roll it around here, and then I'll go ahead and let it sit for another 5 minutes. Once that's done, we'll take a look at it, pour everything off, and then we'll see if we're going to do one more cleaning or not. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes again. Let's go ahead and turn this page and flip it one more time. I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference, and I'm looking at the color of the fluid. I see a little bit of tan to it. Now, we're going to pour this off, and we'll take another hard look at it again. And as you can see, there's still got some suds in it, so that means there's still a little bit of surfactant left, which basically assures me I need to do one more rinse. And here it is. That's the second rinse. It's getting a little bit more clear. So let's go ahead and do one final rinse. Again, we're going to pour on the same batch of calcium hydroxide, no surfactant in it. We just want to go ahead and make sure we get a final rinse that's clean, that's clear, and exactly the way we want it. And then once we get that done, we can start the drying process. So here's our calcium hydroxide one more time. We'll go ahead and same process. We'll hold it still. We'll just roll it around, agitate it, see what comes off. And because looking at the other three rinses, we could tell there's still some filth left in the book, but it's getting less and less. So I'm really pleased looking at the cover. The colors just look wonderful. Once we get it dried, we'll take a look at the gloss. I don't believe we're going to lose any gloss on this book. I'm really pleased with the way things are coming out on it. And like I said just a little while ago, I really think I'm not going to do any paper repairs on this cover. We're just going to leave it as is. Okay, so we pour off our last batch of calcium hydroxide. You can see the sudsy foam is almost non-existent. So it looks clear, it runs clear. I'm happy with the way this looks. So now we're going to go on to our drying process. Now, as you know, with our drying process, I am an advocate for using my trusty Bounty paper towels, and I should say reuse my trusty Bounty paper towels. And we're just going to take some sheets and we're going to lay them flat right across the top. And what we want to do is soak up all that extra calcium hydroxide, that 50 milliliters that's still stuck in the paper. So we'll get that up and out and soak up anything remaining in the tray. Now this is a process. I just continually lay the sheets over this, and I pull everything out. In fact, I'm pulling a little bit of the filth out this direction. And once we do this, we can see some lightening in the Hollytex. You can see as the moisture is coming through. Now we'll go ahead and flip this again, and we're going to put another clean, dry sheet onto our wrap. So I'll lay this down, flatten it out one more time, and this process works great before to get most of the moisture out before we stick it into the heat press for a pressure drying. So we'll peel it off. This is our very first piece. So now you can see it's getting a little bit lighter through the Hollytex. We'll put this sheet back on. Smooth it out as much as we can. Everything's looking really good. It's soaking up a lot of the moisture. I can feel it through the towels. Yes, very pleased with how this is coming out. So once we get this done, we're going to go ahead and move on to the pressure drying. Okay, now that our cover wrap is out of the heat press, you can look from the thumbnail up in the corner. You can see that it's a lot less yellow. The whites have popped, the colors have popped. I'm really pleased with everything. Now, it's nice and smooth. We do have the dust line that's been removed, and up here at the top, we do have the notch, and we have a slight notch down here at the bottom. Now let's take our spatula and run it down the side. I have a small tear right here at the bottom and a little bit larger tear over here. It's about 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. So go ahead and bring this around. Now let's go ahead and flip the cover over and we'll take another look at the interior. I'm really happy with the colors. It's a lot less yellow. It still retained that creaminess, and that's exactly what we want. Now up here at the top, there's that notch. Now I've really decided I don't think I want to do a repair on that. I think we're just going to go ahead and keep it. The spine looks great. There's no reinforcement needed for the staples at this point. So all in all, I think it looks really good. So looking at this, we're going to go ahead and check the snap, as it shows a little bit crispiness to the paper. So that means the paper has retained its sizing. And that's a test we want to do because we don't want it to be flimsy like a paper towel. So all in all, I'm really happy with the way the wet cleaning came out for the cover.